Hi, I'm Terry. I've lost 175 pounds with keto and carnivore. Thank you for watching. So this pot of rutabaga is going to be used as mashed rutabaga. I might turn it, you can turn into mashed like a soup, rutabaga soup. You can use it as a side dish to whatever. I am going to add some sodium alternatives. It's called no salt. I'm going to add some regular salt. And I'm going to bring these to a boil. Let's see, right rear. I'm going to bring it to a boil. And they're going to boil for a while. I don't know how long. I just boil them till I can poke them with a fork. And these are going to be able to be used as, I could use it in the end. I can use it for rutabaga soup. I can use it as, I could add some flavorings and make it more like a mashed potato. So add some sour cream and butter and things like that to it. Whatever I want to do, but this will make a really good side dish. So I just make a bulk pot of this rutabaga. So this is going to be just plain, not flavored. So that way, if I'm eating something special and I want to add something to it, I can. But when we're done, we'll just whip it all up. But for now, we're just going to bring it all to a boil. Right here, I am going to do what I was talking about. I've seen some videos of old-fashioned rutabaga. And it looks like they take rutabaga. It looks like some of them use like a ham hock. Some of them use what do you call that stuff? Back fat. Some of them use... I don't think they use pork belly, but I have bacon. So I'm going to cut, this is 2 full slices. I'm going to put that down in here, and we're just going to let this cook and for however long it needs to. I'm going to break this apart a little bit. Look, y'all, no gloves. Can you believe it? We know how I am about wearing my gloves whenever I touch something gross. But, yep, so... got 2 pieces of bacon, and I've got water, not quite enough to cover it. And then I'm going to put just some salt and maybe a little bit of pepper in it. And then I'm just going to let this bacon flavor it up. Because that's what it looks like they did in all the videos that I watched of old-timey rutabaga. Usually they had a potato in there with it. But anyway, so yeah, let me wash my hands and we'll add some salt and pepper. Alright, I've got some ground black pepper. And I'm going to put some ground white pepper. I need to see if I have more of this. I think I might, but I don't know. Some regular salt. And some potassium. And then we'll just let that bacon flavor it up. Let's see, left front. Let me get this on. And we're going to let it boil till it gets real soft. So that's going to be our old-fashioned rutabaga. So I turned the rutabaga down. It's in here boiling. I'm going to take the lid off now that it's boiling. And I'm just going to let it boil for however long it takes till it gets fork tender. Let's try to poke it with a fork. It's getting hot in this house. Oh my, no, not at all. Not at all. It's got a long way to go. But, yeah. So that one's going. And like I said, when it's done, we'll mash it. Let's see what we got next. Oh, I'm going to finish up the purple cabbage. The rutabaga been cooking for about 2 hours, I'd guess. And now when I take a fork to it, it just pokes right through. It's really, really soft. I could take this and just mash into it. And so now what I need to do is, I won't be able to get it on camera because it's so heavy. I'm going to strain this and get all the water out, and I will be right back. Actually, yeah, I want to get a lot of that water out. So just so you are aware, rutabaga is part of the cabbage family, so it does make your house smell funky. So, you know, my house does smell, it's not a fabulous smell, but Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mash them up with my masher. You could put butter in here. You could put broth in here, whatever you want. But I just want them plain because I'm going to be using them for different things. So I figure I can add whatever flavors I want at the time. So I'm going to whip these up and hopefully not make a mess. See how that texture is. Now, again, they are not potatoes. So they have almost the texture of like squash. So like you can see on my beaters, see that stringy? There is a slight stringy texture like butternut squash. But, like I said, for those of us who are not eating potatoes for various reasons, they are a wonderful substitute. Now I only have the salt that I put in when it boiled. Yep, that's what I wanted. Just some plain rutabaga mash that I can use with things. So now I'm going to just let this sit aside because I have other things I'm going to do with it. But you could add, a meat to it, or you could have it as a side. You could add some cream to it. You could add some butter to it. You could add all kinds of things to it. And rutabaga is very versatile. I really, really love it. So if I was to eat it plain right now, I would add some more salt. But I'm not. So there you go. That is my mashed rutabaga without a bunch of stuff added to it. If you want it soupy, you could add some broth or some coconut cream or some heavy cream and have it more of a rutabaga soup. But like I said, I'm just looking for mashed rutabaga right now. So, all right, that's that. This is the rutabaga with the bacon in it. It's pretty hot. I'm not going to mash it up or anything. Like I said, I just wanted to try it because as I was researching rutabaga, there were so many people, and this is the old way they did it. I'm going to pour out some of the liquid. I know, in the olden days, and other people like liquid for soup style stuff, but I don't. So I'm going to pour out some of the liquid just a second. There we go. Now, probably in the days when people didn't have a lot of money, they probably had something like a rabbit or something along with this, or this might have just been their meal. I told y'all my grandma said that my mom said when her dad was growing up, they had beans every day. Sometimes there was ham, sometimes not. They had it 6 days a week, and on Sunday they had roast. She said on Sundays, him and his brother would be sad because they wanted that. They missed not having ham and beans. So I'm going to have this in a few minutes with what I'm going to have for my lunch. So there you go. That's old style rutabaga. Let's see how that tastes. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. You know what it reminds me of? You could put some green beans in there. I remember when my mom she'd buy those little baby potatoes and have green beans and some pieces of ham in it. That's what that reminds me of, like potatoes and ham. And like she'd buy a ham hock or something. That's really good. It's savory, very savory. So there you go, some old-fashioned rutabaga.